I love you, and I love everything about you and everything that you are and who you are and what you do for me. And what I really was thinking about is my dad. And it's hard because I hurt for him. And I really want to champion for him because he has become such a better person since I've known him. And it's hard to let him be himself. And I know that he has changed, and I can see just how much when I look at the little things. Maybe it's me, I've changed as well. But I don't think it's so much that. What my changes allowed for me to do, not so much maybe they do show on the outside, but it allowed me to not harden my heart towards this person and allow me to remain open and fluid in any given situation and bounce back and have resilience so that I can continue to love this person for who they are. And that's represented through my family line. And that's not something I really want to have to compromise. Like, family to me is important. And it's hard because what I also see is that this person would rather not confront truths in order to keep the peace because they wouldn't be able to handle what they know is probably true. And they don't ask, don't tell. And there was a long time ago that motto came to surface in a big way for a lot of people. And if you don't know about don't ask, don't tell, it's okay. It basically means if nobody asks you, don't tell anybody. Keep your peace to yourself. Don't say anything, But it was very specific to some things, in history. But it means a lot to me because in my world, that's how everything was. If nobody asked you, you didn't talk about it. Good, bad, or indifferent, And that doesn't allow for well-received open communication. It doesn't allow for, people to have honesty. And those things are important. Those things really are important. And learning how to be honest is different than creating a lie. Because people want to be safe above all else. They want to be safe. 411, safe. And that is a firm foundation. And, we want to be safe. And people do actually create lies because and I say that because when I was with a certain person in my life and I said, well, I didn't lie to you, I just didn't tell you everything, I withheld details, that's different, that's not lying. But they insisted that was in fact lying, that withholding details is in fact lying. And I'm like, so my brain is boggled because we had a different belief about lying, so then I shut down completely. I quit speaking, there's nothing to say. I just pleaded the fifth, pretty much, and that's not good either. That's not healthy. That was toxic. That was toxic to the partnership. It was toxic to the individuals. It's toxic to the environment around you. And people talk about eggshells, and it diverts. It it becomes very divergent in our lives when we cannot feel comfortable and free to speak to our parents and to our children and to our spouse or to our partner or to our boyfriend, girlfriend, or to whatever label you want to put on the relationship, to our boss, to our coworkers, to our neighbors, to whoever. When we feel like we can't speak freely, when we put our filters on, well, where do those filters come from? And does it come from prejudices that have been fed outside in? And now our brain has created so much turmoil about the world around us that really doesn't show to exist. If we stop and look around, it doesn't show to exist. But if we stop and look inside and we take all of those projections that have been placed inside of us and we project them back out on the world and we say, okay, is this true or is this not true? And we do an evaluation on what we believe on a very microcosmic level every time we find ourselves having anxiety or being triggered or whatever. And so that's what I kind of did to get to a newer place where I can be here today and accept the fact that all of these things are true. Yes, I love my dad. Yes, I struggle to have a positive, healthy relationship with my dad. Yes, I personally feel like I have a great relationship with my dad and I love him very much. And yes, I feel like as a man, there are some things that, would be better for me, or I maybe wouldn't have the same relationship dynamics with him, if he wasn't my father. And so these are all little things that I have to accept. And what does it mean? And why do I continue to live the way that I do? And, and some of it I have to commend and praise him and say, okay, well, if he's choosing not to rock the boat, that's because he wants to have peace in his life. And so I'm going to remain that peaceful place with him. And I'm not going to rock the boat. And if he starts rocking the boat, I'm going to be like, hey, let's jump for the water here. We don't want to rock the boat because, my boat gets rocked. He don't like when I get upset either, right? So we want to keep each other happy. And so that's what we're doing. And learning how to do that in a positive, healthy way that allows us to communicate and open up and change the dynamic, create. And so I have to lead by example, because that's the charge that I believe, I'm taking. It doesn't matter what I was put here for. It's the charge I'm taking to create that healthy, peaceful life for myself, for others around me, for the world at large, to acknowledge the dynamics, to alter the dynamics, to have a better life. And that's what it's about, to have a positive impact. So impact yourself positively and look around at all of the negative projections that are out there. And can you counter them? Can you say, even if something seems like a positive projection, but really it has a negative veil because it's a false notion. And we cannot continue to perpetuate false notions. Because that, again, goes back to that, what is it, truth or is it a lie? Is something being omitted and not being taken into account? Then is it 100% true? Or are we putting on an air of positivity? There's so many words that I'm thinking of right now that I'm afraid to say because of the whole PC thing. Political correctness, rose-colored glasses, Pollyanna, these are, when they say things like that, I don't know. Anyway, that's a different tangent. I hope that you find some peace and blessings and some truth, hope, and honesty. Keep the faith. We love you. And remember, it's about peace, love, and happiness.